Reprioritize my relationships? Drop a friend? Listen, I'm always the one who gives more than she gets. A mentor? Yeah, that'd be great, but who has the time? Relationships play a huge role in the quality of life. I'm your mentor, Jane. And in this video, I'll guide you to think strategically, respectfully, and lovingly to connect the right people to the right roles in your life so that you reach your full potential. And by the way, that's your greatest chance of helping other people reach their own greatest potential. And don't forget to stay tuned to the end of the video if you're concerned that this is the wrong thing to do. My recent video about making conscious and intentional decisions about your relationships provoked some great questions. Here's one of them. What if, as you reevaluate your relationships, an individual shares that you're their only close friend? That question is so good, and please keep posting your questions and comments below. Now, I'm going to answer this question in two parts. First, rather than focus on the role you play in the other person's life, start with what role you need this person to play in your life. Then, with that answer in mind, I'll come back and answer the question. Some of you might believe this is a selfish way to think about people. Another perspective is that it's a respectful way to honor the contributions others make in your life. I came across this concept in the book Relational Intelligence, The People Skills You Need for the Life of Purpose You Want, by author and pastor Dharius Daniels. I've put the link to the book below. Daniels suggests there are 4 categories of relationships. Let me walk you through them briefly as we think about a relationship in question. The first category is friends. Today, when we hear the word friend, you might flash to Facebook and the many people you've classified as friends. Originally, Facebook friends were intended to be people you care about, who you hang out with, and the people you trust with the details of your life. What Daniels describes as a friend is one of very few people you permit to have a great influence over you. These are the people who have great character, who are dependable and trustworthy. They know the best and probably the worst about you, and they encourage you to be all you were created to be. A friend relationship, or what we call friendship, goes both ways. I love the way Daniels puts it. Friendships are not jobs. You care and contribute as much to your friend as he or she does to you. You accept your friend as they come, and you're thrilled when you witness their growth and success. Does that describe your Facebook friends, your followers on social media? Probably not. Notice I'm not using an adjective to modify the word friend, like true friend, real friend, or best friend. That's because in all likelihood, the people you currently consider friends more closely resemble the second category of relationships, and Daniels calls these relationships associates. Associates are valuable relationships, but they are at the surface level. Think about your coworkers, neighbors, customers, classmates, sorority sisters, and fraternity brothers. Most of the people you currently refer to as friends probably fit this category, even though you may know a lot about them and spend a great deal of time together. But they don't know the details of your heart, and you don't want to share the burden of theirs. There's not the same emotional investment in an associate as there is in a friend. And that's not to say that you don't care about your associates or that it's okay to be unkind or disrespectful. A relationship may evolve from an associate to a friend, but be clear about the difference in mutual investment. That's particularly relevant if you're a people pleaser who makes the chronic mistake of sacrificing yourself for people you count as friends, but who consider you an associate. Now, to further reprioritize your relationships, Daniels names 2 more categories, which, well, they're really like 2 different sides of the same coin. First, there are your assignments. That might sound crude or kind of crass. It did to me at first. But now I think the term is a good one because it best explains the purpose of this important kind of relationship. An assignment is a person, well, someone you come alongside of for a season or for a period of time to equip, teach, mentor, and coach. Daniels explains that this is likely to be a lopsided relationship where you give more than receive. We're not talking about rescuing or controlling people. This is a relationship where you pour into someone what you likely have received from someone else. This doesn't mean you're superior to the other person in any way. Frankly, as the individual who is your assignment grows and flourishes, they're likely to leave the relationship because you've fulfilled your purpose in their life. Now, the 4th category is the other side of that coin, and Daniels calls it your advisors. Remember, you need people to help you fulfill your purpose. So guess what? You're likely to be someone else's assignment. We all need advisors to equip, mentor, and coach us at various seasons of life. Advisors are so valuable because they guide us around obstacles, point out shortcuts, and call us forth to get farther faster. What's different about an advisor is that we seek them out because of their experience or expertise with a specific area of life. You may look for help to make a career change, navigate a difficult work situation, handle your money, and so on. While friends and associates may also give us advice, that's not the emphasis of those relationships. Daniels puts it beautifully. God uses advisors to protect not just us, but our families as well. Our advisors often are answers to prayer. So let me summarize. Rather than simply be in your relationship, it's important to also think about them. So here are 4 categories of relationships to consider. A friend is a close, authentic, 2-way communication that you both nurture so you can influence and support one another to carry out your life's callings. Associates are people you have periodic or consistent contact with, but don't engage with on a deep level. Associates are not in the friendship, assignment, or advisor categories. An assignment is a special relationship where your primary role is to train, advise, mentor, or coach another person so they can fulfill their life's purpose. Advisors are people who take you on as their assignment to mentor and guide you in specific areas of life, usually for a limited amount of time. Now, if you've been listening carefully to this point, there's a good chance you're thinking differently about at least a few of your relationships. You might be tempted to set up some coffee dates or shoot out a few texts announcing that things are going to be changing. But wait, stop. That's not your next step. If you're feeling frustrated, angry, or maybe even hurt with someone, consider that emotion as a signal, like the low battery signal on your phone. It's an indication that you need to pause, take some time, and look closer at this relationship. Remember, knee-jerk reactions don't lead to a good life. So this brings me back to the original question. What if, as you reevaluate your relationships, an individual shares that you're their only close friend? Now, I didn't have a chance to talk to the person who submitted this question, so I'm going to assume that your friend is beginning to think of you, well, let's call your friend Hannah, as more of an associate than a friend. I can offer some questions to help you discern a next step. First of all, when and how did your relationship with Hannah begin? Who initiated it? What role has Hannah played in your life up to now? What's been your role in Hannah's life? What have been the high points and the low points? What's changed? How have you changed? What role do you need Hannah to play in your life now? And finally, could Hannah now be an assignment? As you answer those questions, think about what you're learning about this relationship, and you'll be led to the right next step. The journey to a good life requires you to build right relationships. That includes learning how to reprioritize your relationships from time to time. This is such an important step, and you run the risk of acting selfishly and crushing someone's spirit. So proceed with caution. I recommend you watch the video again, share it with a friend, and talk about what you're learning, what you're thinking. And stay tuned for the final word. Who do I think I am, passing judgment on the value of another person? If that's what you think I'm doing, I haven't made myself clear. Reprioritizing your relationships is not about judging the worth of another person, and don't confuse it with loving some people more than others. Love your neighbor as yourself is a life principle many of us try to follow. When we love our neighbor or our co-workers, friends, boss, and so on, do we want the best for them? Do we cheer when they're successful, when they spend their time wisely and use their talent to benefit others? Are we thrilled for them when they get help when they need it? We admire their focus for going after what they want. We feel appreciated and respected when we're together. Do you believe they accomplish this by trying to be all things for all people? Do they believe they're indispensable to God? What if you loved yourself in the same way as you love your neighbor, by wanting the best for yourself? Make tough choices, use your resources, including your relationships, wisely. Focus and go after what you want. In other words, can you love your neighbor and yourself at the same time? Advocating for your needs is not selfish. It's being a good steward of one of the most important blessings God gives you. Reprioritizing your relationships is not wrong when the purpose is to honor Him with your life, and you go about it through prayer and with humility. Now that's the final word.